So a couple years back, I built this Glamrock Bonnie cosplay around the time that FNAF 1 came out. It did take a couple months to get up and running, but I am still like stupid proud of this. However, I never got around to making a full video about it. Probably because I was living in denial, because now this cosplay needs help. This cosplay has seen some things and like almost torn my body apart. Let me just show you. Get ready with me. The first piece, giant cod piece. Why do they call it the cod?
After the fish.
Are you serious? No. This is rolling and I can't hold on to it. I'm trying to get my heel in. I feel like I'm being knighted. I need to hit my face. Let's just talk about it like this. So, because I want to put more on right now. The wrist collar pieces are like not glued on. I don't know why I didn't glue them on, but the points are also falling off and we're missing some. Overall, the chest and the torso, like the torso body area is fine because it's like you can't really do anything about it. You know when you have to itch and you don't have your hands? Try walking for any distance in this thing.
Walk a mile in these Louboutins.
So the feet are really, really heavy already. But also these shins are so long because I wanted to like hide the gaps as much as possible and they bind. So sometimes I'll walk and my leg will lock up and then I'm just stuck. The head, that thing's a nightmare. The spiky hair is like impossible to print in like sand. So I resin printed it, which is like a big no-no. So that's really heavy. But then you've got like the top heavy weight of the ears. And so every time I lean forward, there's a head cap inside that digs directly into my forehead with all of that weight. So I literally could only go like 20 minutes at a time before I had to take my head off at a convention. Like have a breather, like let the blood recirculate in my head, in my brain. There's also a weird like lizard blink. Yeah. All right, plug me in, let's get this over with.
Putting this thing back on reminded me of how much pain it causes me, but we'll make a list of things to fix and get it back into working order.
Now, while I work on bringing Bonnie back to life, let's talk about something way less terrifying. The sponsor of today's video, CyberGhost VPN. In both our world and in the Five Nights at Freddy's world, keeping your location secret is pretty important. And same goes for the internet. That's where CyberGhost VPN saves the day. CyberGhost VPN encrypts your data so your information stays completely private. That means no Fazbear level surveillance on your internet activity and absolutely no logs kept by CyberGhost. Not even they know what you do online. Simply choose one of CyberGhost's 100+ locations before you browse, and all your traffic is encrypted and routed through secure servers, so no one can see what you're doing online. Plus, you can unlock geo-restricted games, movies, and TV shows on over 40 streaming platforms like Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Disney+. You can also score better online deals by switching your virtual location, and even dive way too deep into gaming lore without anybody judging you. The best part is that you can use it on up to 7 devices at once. Whether you're gaming or slowly descending into a rabbit hole of FNAF theories, they've got you covered. With over 38 million users worldwide and over 20,000 excellent reviews on Trustpilot, it's one of the best VPNs out there. So if you want to stay as protected as a security guard with all the doors closed, use my link to get 84% off. That's just $2.03 a month and 4 months free. CyberGhost VPN also has a 45-day money-back guarantee and 24/7 customer support. Now let's get back to putting Bonnie back together. Hard. It's so squeaky.
So the first biggest issue we're going to tackle is the head. Let me first go back and tell you quickly about how this was originally built. First and foremost, I used the Blender animation files made by a YouTube user named LukeTFM. I was able to modify these for 3D printing and to fit a human body inside. The most difficult part was the head, since it wasn't designed to fit a person. I cut out a hole in the file for my head and I designed a head cap so I could wear it. In order to make the eyes robotic, I followed a tutorial by Will Cogley, except I used his free basic eye file and I stretched and scaled it to fit my gigantic head. These were pretty easy to figure out, so I upgraded them a bit to have a manual and an automatic mode. Now, it's safe to say that the code isn't perfect.
And manual mode is kind of useless because like, how am I supposed to pilot that in these giant hands?
Everything from that point on was just printing and assembling the head, sanding, painting, printing resin eyes that could light up from inside, pretty generic stuff. But what I didn't plan out in advance was the weight issue. Everything looked great, but this was extremely heavy on my head, specifically my forehead, and that's where we'll pick up from with the repairs. With the entire head weighing in at a total of 7.5 pounds, I had my work cut out for me. Let's see if I'm able to find a way to reduce a bit of the weight.
So I have to like rip this apart right now. If something happens, at least it's on camera. This feels so wrong.
Just tearing them apart. Ooh.
Okay, you can feel, like these are pretty heavy. This is where all the weight comes from right here, because this is resin printed. Ooh. Yeah.
Wow.
So you can see I tried to hollow it, but resin's still heavy. I want to see how this feels compared.
His like head shape with no ears and everything, like it looks like humanoid. It's creepy.
The padding in the head is too much because we over padded it in order to be able to like wear it without dying. Like this is making it hard to move the chin.
I think we also added that to minimize wobble.
Well, it was wobbling because it was so heavy. Way easier to move the chin. It's not super offensive, but it's still very tight on the head. So I ripped out the back padding. This is just an attempt to make it less like tight on my head. It does move more, it slides more, but it feels like less squeezing. It's very, it's not bad. No matter what I do, there's pressure on my forehead. You can see it's pushing down my face.
It's like squishing your eyebrow.
Yeah, that's why it digs into my forehead. Because every time I lean forward, it just goes shh.
My first immediate solution was printing the hair in ABS at 2% infill. This way I could use acetone smoothing to avoid having to sand this awful piece. This was super effective and the part ended up being half of what the old resin one was. I used the acetone to bond the pieces together and then I put it in the acetone vapor bath for around 30 minutes. This turned out awesome and was honestly a better result.
Look at how glassy it looks.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The hardest weight reduction was in the ears. It's really hard to find an effective way to eliminate top heaviness in a part like this, especially when I had already 3D printed this as light and hollow as possible. My solution was to try to slush cast a hollow part.
Last time you had like a sharp object in your hand, it went through
It went in
your
my hand.
knuckle.
Last time I had a sharp object in my hand, it was in my hand.
It went in your hand. So you're not doing anything with that other ear, right?
No. I'm gonna cast this one just like this. I'll just use the same one for both because why cast it or why mold it twice?
Because I was carrying out the head from the shop. The ear bumped the doorway and it fell apart into 2 pieces.
This one?
No, that one. We listen and we don't judge.
I went ahead and made a cardboard mold box until I realized I was wasting time and material.
I think we're deciding that we did this the stupid way. This is a huge box. It's gonna use like all of this because I was trying to cast it in one piece to like make my life easier, but making your life easy does not exist. Or at least making my life easy does not exist. Ugh, okay. We're gonna cast them separately. I'm eyeballing everything right now.
I could record and hold it. Good Lord.
Sure.
Why is everything that we do
Everything is
janky
messed
way?
up.
So I think I grab, you heat up the needle, and you...
Sounds like we're doing drugs or something, man. I grab, you heat up the needle. We should have just bought clay.
Oh my God.
This is fun. This is totally the right way to do things.
With the mold boxes made and the model suspended, we created the molds using Moldstar 16 Fast.
I need to 6 this in mixed minutes.
I made a 2-part mold and I used these 3D printed keys, and before you know it, with a little bit of cleanup, we had our molds. I used some wooden boards to tape it shut and make sure the mold was nice and supported. We then moved to slush casting with Smoothcast 65D and impact resistant resin. This was the harder part. We went through 5 to 6 attempts, with some being way too heavy and some being way too thin.
He's the slush caster master. Slush master. Because
caster.
I tried to do it and I spilled resin all over our expensive rubber flooring and now it does not come out. So I'm giving it to the man.
Finally, we found the sweet spot. We got close to a perfect cast that gave us a 75-gram reduction.
Whoa. Whoa, okay.
So we repeated this for all 4 pieces of the ears. All that was left to do was to clean up the molds, prime, and paint. I also modeled up new ear mounts that are magnetic so I could remove the ears for traveling. These were epoxied to the bases of the ears, and the hair was glued to the top of the head. Finally, we could call the weight reduction done, with a total weight reduction of 0.85 pounds. So like 3/4 of a pound, almost, kind of. Honestly, I thought it would be closer to 1.5 pounds, but the weight distribution felt a lot more even now. Once we had the head repairs and weight reduction complete, I had to do something about the awful looking eye animation and the mess of the wires in the brain of Bonnie's head. Since I wasn't going to be using the manual mode, I decided to rip those wires out and reduce some of the clutter. Basically exported the this from the Blender file, and I put it into Botango, and I just put the servos in position because I can figure out what they're doing because I've got the thing right here. You don't have to go super complex with this. It's just a guide to help you figure out what you're doing. But you can see I've got some idle animations programmed in here. There's a blank. And so I'm just basically gonna run the driver on this board and then install the animation. Hopefully that gets rid of the lizard blank. Botango is a super helpful program for this, and since I've used it to help me with animatronics for other builds, this was a piece of cake. I tested some of the new movements live first, and then I realized I would need a new board with more memory on it to be able to upload the animation. So, we did a brain transplant, aka we upgraded from an Uno to a Mega. So I've got this new one that should fit this guy perfectly. Once the brain transplant was complete, the code was uploaded, and we were able to give it a full test.
Okay.
Let's make sure this dude still works.
Ooh.
There we go. No lizard blank anymore.
Looks crazy. It's a lot more fluid too. Like his cranium. He looks like SpongeBob when he got like the haircut on the Halloween. That's my brain.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not a hat. That's my brain.
A much easier fix, but still an important piece to get working, is the shins. I originally printed these pretty long to keep the correct proportions, but the binding when I walked and the pinching it resulted in was not ideal. I went into the original model and non-uniformly scaled these to be shorter, as well as reduce the thickness of the shins. This would give my knees just a bit more room, and the reduced length would hopefully prevent binding and pinching. I printed these in 2 parts since they were still so massive.
This is the new shin, and it's not a huge difference, but you can see that this one's shorter.
Then, I plastic welded the halves together, and I got to replacing the strapping inside of them with the strapping from the old shins.
Use this thigh as alignment and glue these into the shin. Hello.
Hi.
You should be able to get that on by yourself, right?
I think.
I usually hold it, but
Yeah.
we can set up the tripod.
Uh-oh.
Okay, tripod time.
Uh-oh, I'm stuck.
Why do I still feel like I need to help you?
No, we're God. We're God.
We're God.
I meant to say we're good. No.
I am God.
Rip off the padding from the other one.
No.
Almost there. Okay. Ah! That's the second time this has
I
happened.
know, I'm getting like trapped inside the suit. Like halfway skipped leg day.
Yeah. It feels like way less restricting. Because usually just walking like this, I would bind. But like it doesn't, like it stops, but it doesn't like get stuck. It used to get stuck.
Like better range of motion.
Yeah. I think this is better.
I actually forgot that the original model doesn't have these detail panels I wanted, so I burned them in with a soldering iron. Then I played the game of hide the seam line as best as you can, and the new shins were done. Now we're on the last super easy fix.
That's not gonna stay.
The bracelets were slipping off, so to fix this issue, I reprinted the bracelets with the spikes attached. The original bracelets weren't painted great, and this solved the issue of the spikes not fitting properly and falling out. I also used the acetone vapor bath method for this, and it gave the part a really nice glossy shine, which I used as a base for Duralumin chrome paint. I felt like this gave the bracelets some nice contrast to the satin finish of the suit.
Now I actually have nothing else to show here except for the final reveal of a suit that hopefully doesn't hurt me as much, but I just wanted to say thank you. I'm posting this on New Year's Eve and a lot has changed for me this year. I've taken YouTube more seriously, I moved into a new house, I have a workshop, I'm recording in a new room, lots of big things have happened, and it's all because of people who wanted to support my journey and wanted to watch my work, subscribe to YouTube, watch my videos, liked a video, followed me on Instagram, DM'd me supportive words. It's all because of people like you who have kept me going and motivated me to keep doing this. So thank you. I hope everybody has a great new year. I'm excited to do some really crazy stuff next year after I have a little bit of a break for myself. And thank you, of course, to the patrons listed below. Yeah, I guess it's reveal time and I'll see you next year. That's corny. Remember to use the link in the description to get 84% off CyberGhost VPN, completely risk-free with customer support and a 45-day money-back guarantee. Thank you again to CyberGhost VPN for sponsoring this video.